Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, first of all, to all the viewers. In this video, I discuss mortgage and its kinds. So this video is very important for those persons having interest in property related issues. So for the sake of understanding mortgage, first of all, we need to clarify the concept that what is mortgage. Mortgage is basically the transfer of interest from mortgager to the mortgagee. So most of the persons having wrong apprehensions, having wrong inferences that the mortgage is more than the transfer of the interest of property, but it is completely wrong concept. It is just or merely to the extent of the transfer of the interest of property from mortgagor to the mortgagee. So the word property is used. So how the property can be construed to the extent of mortgage. So the property is not a general property in case of mortgage. It should be a specific property that falls under the ownership of the mortgagor. So meaning thereby, if mortgagor having a possession, having ownership against any particular property, then he possesses the right to mortgage that property to the mortgagee. So for this purpose, we also need to understand that what is mortgagor and what is mortgagee. So in simple language, the mortgagor is a borrower of a money from the mortgagee, and the mortgagee is the person who lend money to the mortgagor. So I hope that the basic concept is clarified in the beginning of this video. Now we move towards the kinds of the mortgage. So first of all, I start with the simple mortgage. What is simple mortgage and what are its credentials? So the first and the foremost thing that need to understand by the person who want to go towards the mortgage transaction, that in simple mortgage the possession of the property is not required to be transferred by the mortgagor to the mortgagee. So this is the mortgage, kind of the mortgage in which possession of the property is not important and is not significant. But simultaneously, if the payment is not made by the mortgagor to the mortgagee within the stipulated time period, or is not in consonance with the terms of the deed as framed in between mortgagor and mortgagee, then what would happen consequently? Consequently, this mortgage deed confers the right upon the mortgagee to sell the property to XYZ person in case if default is committed by the mortgagor in term of making payment. So we have discussed first kind of the mortgage thoroughly. Now we move towards the second kind of mortgage. So the second kind of mortgage is mortgage by the conditional sale oblique ostensible sale. So this kind of mortgage is also known as ostensible sale. So in this mortgage, certain terms need to be specified in the deed at the time of its framing or at the time of its making. So what are those necessary terms? It is provided that if mortgagor pay back the money, then sale is void. So it is expressly provided if the mortgagor is the person who borrowed the money from the mortgagee and pay back the money, then the sale is void. As you know that the property is under possession of the mortgagee, and along with this one more condition is provided, with subject to which If the mortgagor fails to make the payment, then what would be its consequences? In case of failure, then the sale is absolute, meaning thereby if the mortgagor is having a failure in making payment to the mortgagee, then such sale will be considered absolute. And these are the terms which need to be mentioned expressly for avoiding any uncertain event. Now I discuss usufructuary mortgage. This is also very important kind of the mortgage which relates to those properties against which some profit is being derived by the mortgagor. So in this kind of mortgage, the mortgagee is having a right to collect such rent, to collect such profit on behalf of the mortgagor under that mortgage deed. So the next kind of mortgage is English mortgage. So English mortgage is worthwhile in a way that it provides the right to the mortgagee to have a complete possession over the property, meaning thereby the complete transference of property from mortgagor to the mortgagee is English mortgage. But what would be the condition precedent? Condition precedent is this, that if mortgagor successfully return the payment, return the loan to the mortgagee, then he has the right to get the possession over the particular or the specified property. Now, dear fellows, we move towards the next kind of the mortgage, which is the mortgage by deposit of the title deed. If I narrate this in my own terms, then it is also a prompt kind of the mortgage. So what is the essence of this mortgage? This mortgage takes place in those cases where the mortgagor gives the title document of the property to the mortgagee, against which the mortgagee lent money to the mortgagor. So it is just to the extent of the title documents, not more than that. So this mortgage was particularly introduced in order to give extraordinary benefits to the mortgagor, and in those cases where he requires money on prompt or on urgent basis. So the right of the mortgagor is saved in this mortgage by deposit of the title deed. Now I move towards the last kind of the mortgage, which is known as anomalous mortgage. So the anomalous mortgage is also termed as the combination of two mortgages. It can be a simple mortgage or a usufructuary mortgage. So once again I state that these mortgages are very important for those persons having interest in property related business or having some connection with property issues, because these are the terminologies which can be heard by those individuals on daily basis. So it is better to have a good cognizance, better to have a good knowledge over all these affairs in order to keep the interest of all the parties safe. So dear audience, my number is given at the bottom of the page. So you may contact any time for getting further assistance in regard of property related issues or in regard of mortgage or other kinds ancillary to this. So inshallah I will also upload further videos regarding property related issues, and you will get benefited from all those things. Stay in touch with me. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.